Upbeat music plays, visuals of Washington, D.C. streets with National Guard vehicles. Martial law in America's capital? A former Trump official just dropped a bombshell, calling the National Guard's deployment to Washington, D.C. a dangerous step toward authoritarian control. But is this really a power grab, or is it a necessary move to tackle crime? Stick around, because we're diving deep into what's happening in D.C. and what it means for the future. Transition to host on screen, standing in front of a map of D.C. or news footage. Hey everyone, welcome back to your channel name. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and let's get into the chaos unfolding in Washington, D.C. Visuals, clips of National Guard troops, Trump speaking at a press conference, D.C. landmarks. On August 11, 2025, President Donald Trump announced a historic move. He's deploying 800 National Guard troops to D.C. and placing the city's police department under federal control.
Why?
He says it's to rescue the capital from what he calls crime, bloodshed, and lawlessness. But here's the kicker. Official stats show violent crime in D.C. is at a 30-year low, down 26% this year alone. So, what's really going on here? Cut to a clip of Trump's press conference. Trump claims the city's out of control, pointing to incidents like the assault of a Department of Government Efficiency staffer, Edward Coreystein, in an attempted carjacking. He's even floated keeping troops in D.C. indefinitely and expanding this to cities like Chicago or New York. But critics, including D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser, are pushing back hard, calling this an authoritarian push that undermines the city's autonomy. Visuals, image or clip of Olivia Troy, text overlay, former Trump security official. Now, let's talk about the bombshell quote that's got everyone talking. Olivia Troy, a former national security official under Trump and advisor to Mike Pence, didn't hold back. She said, and I quote, "This is a major step towards martial law, something he's always wanted." That's a massive claim. Troy argues this isn't about crime, it's about power. She even pointed out the irony. Why deploy the National Guard now, when Trump didn't call them during the January 6th Capitol riot, one of D.C.'s most violent moments in years? Host leans in, speaking directly to the camera. Martial law, for those wondering, is when the military takes over civilian rule, usually in times of war or extreme crisis. But with crime stats dropping, is this really a crisis? Or is it, as Troy suggests, a move to flex federal muscle and silence dissent? Let's break it down. Visuals, clips of D.C. residents, National Guard near the Washington Monument, Trump supporters on X. Not everyone agrees with Troy. Some D.C. residents, according to posts on X, say they feel safer with the National Guard around. One user even claimed homeless loitering is way down, and people can walk around Union Station without fear. The White House says over 300 arrests have been made in less than 2 weeks, targeting violent criminals. Trump's team argues this is about restoring order and making D.C. a beautiful city again. Cut to stats on screen, violent crime down 35% in 2024, homicides down 12% in 2025. But here's where it gets murky. The data doesn't lie. Violent crime spiked in 2023 but has been plummeting since. Homicides are down 12%, armed carjackings down 53%. So why the heavy-handed response? Critics like D.C.'s Attorney General Brian Schwalb say there's no emergency, calling Trump's actions unprecedented, unnecessary, and unlawful. Some even argue this is political theater to distract from other issues, like the Jeffrey Epstein files. Visuals, D.C. Mayor Bowser speaking, clips of protests, historical footage of 2020 D.C. deployments. So, what does this mean for D.C. and beyond? D.C. isn't like other cities. It's a federal enclave, meaning the president has more control here than anywhere else. The Home Rule Act of 1973 gives D.C. some self-governance, but Trump's using a loophole to take over the police for up to 30 days unless Congress extends it. He's even talking about a long-term federal control of D.C.'s police. That's got people like Mayor Bowser and activists worried about losing local power. Host gestures emphatically. And it's not just D.C. Trump's already deployed troops to Los Angeles this summer, and he's eyeing cities like Chicago and Baltimore next. If this spreads, could we see more federal takeovers in Democratic-run cities? And what about the Posse Comitatus Act, which limits the military's role in domestic law enforcement? Some say D.C.'s unique status dodges that law, but others argue this sets a dangerous precedent. Host looks directly at the camera, serious tone. Here's the big question. Is this about safety, or is it a step towards something bigger, like Olivia Troy warns? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Do you think the National Guard in D.C. is a good move, or is it overreach? And if you're in D.C., tell us what you're seeing on the ground. Visuals. Subscribe button animation. Clips of D.C. streets. If you found this deep dive helpful, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more breakdowns of what's happening in the world. Hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and let's keep the conversation going. See you next time.